Before the glass towers, cable cars, and coffee culture, Wellington was a raw, windswept harbor at the edge of the world. Long before Europeans arrived, Maori navigators reached Te Whanganui-a-Terra, the great harbor of Terra. According to tradition, the explorer Kup discovered this place around the 10th century, naming landmarks and opening sea routes across Cook Strait. Later, iwi such as Rangitane, Mwapoko, and then Te Atiawa settled around the sheltered bays, building pa on the ridges and fishing the rich coastal waters. The hills were thick with forest, and the harbor was wild, shallow, and stormy. In the 1830s, everything began to change. The New Zealand Company chose this region for its first organized British settlement. In 1839 the advance ship Tory arrived, followed by the Aurora in January 1840, landing settlers at Peta 1, now Pet 1. The first town, called Britannia, was laid out on the Hutt River flats, but repeated flooding quickly revealed how hostile this landscape could be. Within months, the settlement shifted to the more sheltered Lambton Harbour, on land that already had Maori occupants. The company's surveyor, William Main Smith, drew a gridiron plan that ignored the steep terrain, slicing streets into hillsides and across swamps. Early Wellington grew fast yet chaotically, with hundreds of wooden buildings squeezed between sea and hills, and a green belt reserved around the town's edge. In 1865, Wellington's destiny changed again when it became the capital of New Zealand, replacing Auckland. Its central position near Cook Strait and safer harbor access for steamships made it ideal for a national government. Parliament, government offices, and merchants clustered along the reclaimed waterfront. The city clung to narrow coastal ledges while suburbs slowly crept up the steep valleys of Te Aro and Thorndon. Earthquakes and fierce southerly storms regularly battered the fragile town, forcing better building standards and more harbor reclamation. By the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Wellington transformed into a modern port city. Railways linked the capital to the rest of the country, turning the harbor into a hub for wool, meat, and dairy exports. Hills were carved for roads, and more land was reclaimed from the sea to expand the central business district. Electric trams arrived, pulling new suburbs like Newtown, Karori, and Miramar into the urban web. Narrow wooden houses stacked up the hills, while stone and brick buildings signaled commercial confidence in the center. Planning ideas slowly emerged, shaping streets, parks, and sanitation as the growing city grappled with public health and density. The earthquakes of the 20th century, especially the 1942 sequence, reminded Wellington that the ground beneath the capital is always restless. Many older masonry buildings were later strengthened or replaced. After the Second World War, state housing spread along the ridges and valleys, and the motor car gradually replaced trams, changing street life. Office towers rose along Lambton Quay, while the port modernized for container shipping. The city consolidated into a compact downtown, wrapped by green hills and low-rise suburbs, always shaped